Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for Cancer. Wherever Cancer shows up in your chart, we're just going to do an overall 2025 vibe check. I'm not going to go month by month because honestly, I don't remember those when I watch those videos. So just kind of an overall, what's the focus going to be type of thing. Just, whatever is coming in for you. We're just going to get a couple cards on that. That's interesting. The Seven of Swords came out twice. I'm not taking any cards yet, but we'll see if it comes out when we are. So, oh, did I just bend that? No, okay. Ooh. I'm like, this is my favorite deck. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. Ooh. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I would love it if you did. If you are already, thank you. I mean, thank you otherwise. I mean, I'm glad that you're here. But yeah, I would also love it if you subscribe. So, with that being said, let's shuffle with a little more intention here. We just want a few cards. Nothing crazy. Okay. Justice in reverse. Did you see kind of how that... The Eight of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit, and the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. What's behind that? The Magician, the World. Okay. It's interesting because in this Justice card, first of all, Justice is Libra, right? So, I mean, that doesn't specifically have to mean anything for you, but it can. We have the Hermit card here, which is Virgo. So in this card, right, upright, the person looks more calm, serene, relaxed almost, right? Like their eyes are closed. There's a little bit of a smile on their face, wind in their hair. In the reverse, it's almost like their shadow side, right? Or like their inner self. And I just say shadow side because, I mean, the imagery just, it does make it look a little ominous or just a little darker. And the feeling that I always get from this card, if it comes out in reverse, because I feel like this card, beyond any other card, because I don't shuffle reversals into my decks, but out of this deck, this card has a tendency to come out in reverse frequently. And I always get this feeling of this partnership or acceptance of our shadow sides. Because, I mean, it is the Justice card, right? And Justice talks about the scales balancing, fairness, it's karma, truth. And specifically in this deck, the reversed meaning is consequences, retribution, karma still, the opportunity to make changes that will better your future, taking responsibility for your actions, learning from past experiences, facing regrets. So it's kind of like if you have been in a period, however long that has been for you, right? No matter where you are in your healing journey, there's this acceptance that that we all have an ego, right? That we all have experiences and traumas and shadows within us, right? And it's learning to work with that to where it's no longer holding you back. It's no longer taking you out of integrity. It's no longer in the driver's seat almost too, right? Because again, the opportunity to make changes that will better your future. It is giving me this feeling of being ready to take something on. Because in the reverse, it almost looks like they're unsheathing, is that the right word? This sword, they're taking the cover off of it. Right? And even that these bowls are upside down, it's literally laying on all your chips on the table. Even if that only has to do with yourself, because there's nobody else really on these cards except for in the 10 of Cups. So this is definitely very like personal to you, right? Looking at the ways that maybe you have done a disservice to yourself over however long. Recognizing the ways that, you have like poured out of your own cup and haven't really gotten anything in return. Where you've self-sabotaged. Again, like where maybe you have stepped outside of like your own integrity, because upright, it almost feels like, to me anyway, looking at this card, that they're putting the cover back on and like something's been resolved here. But no, on this side, it's like, no, bitch, it's go time almost like. And it's almost like too, like seeking out your own justice. It's not doing other people wrong. It's not, it has nothing really to do with like making other people accountable for how they have impacted your life or however that has happened. But it's more so like taking responsibility for yourself and being like, that was fucked up, whatever that was in the past, however long ago, that was. And I'm just not going to accept that from anybody else going forward, but I'm also not going to let it hold me back. Because this sword is sharp as shit. So it's going to cut through any BS. Like if it's not serving you in 2025, don't even give it any attention. If it is like triggering something within you, I do think that like triggers are great for, just recognizing where we need to do a little bit more work. Like there's clearly something that is unresolved there, and journaling or dancing is coming to mind, like moving your body, like just transmuting the energy, right? And reparenting that part of ourselves, right? And letting it go, like trying our best to like recognize that that's there, right? It's not going anywhere. It's real. But also like it doesn't have to dictate. It doesn't have to have so much weight in, even too, that these two cups are like upside down. You cannot put anything into those things right now because it will fall out. So it really does seem like there's like this big opportunity here for you to reestablish what boundaries are for you, what you will accept, what you won't. We have the 8 of Wands here, which is usually fast moving communication, right? Like, I mean, things can move really quickly. You could make decisions very quickly. There could be some sort of resolution with the Justice card, and I mean, like, justice can also be like a court case, or, I mean, it doesn't specifically obviously have to be like court, but it's just like, if you are in some sort of like dispute with somebody, with a job, with a friend, with a family member, with a relationship, whatever that is, there could be this resolution here, and it could be too something other than how you thought it would resolve. Wands are about the actions that we take and the motivation behind them. I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things. We figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do we like, what don't we like, what stays, what goes, right? And again, I mean, this could just be, throwing caution to the wind and making that phone call, making contact, having a conversation with somebody because an injustice has been done. It could also even be just speaking your truth from the heart. And it has a healing aspect to it. And even maybe brings you guys closer together. That was a quick message. But, the Ace of Cups here, it's an ace, so it's brand new. Cups have to do with our emotions. We can see this, heart illustration there in their bowl at their heart center. So, it's being driven by your heart. It could be a new expression of love. It's your cup being so full that it is overflowing. Whereas, in the Justice card, both of those bowls are upside down. There's nothing that can be held in there. So even if this has been how you have been in the recent past, is not really even accepting karma, maybe not even attempting to do anything, because, right, like you could have just been like, either exhausted, you could have just been really like within yourself, like, which is interesting too that we have the Hermit out here. But it's interesting that we have the Hermit and that the Justice card came out in reverse, because both of those feel like just being isolated, being introspective, right? So if you have been in a period where you just really haven't even been putting yourself out there, because too, it's like maybe you're just like, I've just been exhausted by life. Like I just kind of feel like I've been dealt a shit hand of cards and I'm just not really all that interested, because it's like triggering something within me, right? And then the Eight of Wands is coming in and it's like, no, it's time to get moving, right? Like the energy is available here for you, and even the desire, because wands also have to do with our desires, with our passions, with creativity. And maybe it is like you're just kind of getting that little, like whisper in the back of your head where you're like, I actually do want to come out of my introspection. I do want to invite more good news. I do want to, try new things and almost just like get back into that, your own flow. Like the moon has not stopped going through its phases, right? Like even if you have, and again, it's like getting back into the flow. See where the moon is and start there. That's interesting. And then, like I said, we have the Hermit card here, which is introspection. It's also following your own unique path. And so it's interesting that I was even talking about the moon and its phases, right? Like that does not stop just because we do. And I'm bringing up the moon, of course, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? So again, it's like really accepting, really honoring that every single day you might feel different about yourself, about life, about what you're doing, about all of the things, right? And not attaching a meaning to that, not, getting like stuck in it, allowing it to just be. And also, again, like even getting into like your own flow. And with the Hermit card, like I was saying before I think I kind of went off on a different tangent, is that I see the Hermit card as being your unique path. Like literally nobody can walk the path of your life other than you. So you cannot compare yourself to other people. You can't compare your experiences to other people. You can't compare your healing. You can't compare your hermiting. If you have been just kind of like hermiting out, hiding out lately, you can't compare that. But this is honoring that, and even like this bit of surrender. I mean, they're like literally floating in the air here. And even too, like it could just be like divine guidance. It could of course be like a message about getting into meditation, or finding a type of meditation that does work for you, whether that's like active meditation, like walking or doing yard work or cleaning or whatever it is though, right? Where you just like kind of get lost in it. You can clear your mind and just be, right? Like listen for direction, listen for messages. And then the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. The 10 of Cups is a minor arcana card to the Sun card. It's, your desires being met. Family, community, balance. We have the Magician. We have the World card. The Magician is taking everything that you have now and manifesting the thing that you want to do. It's recognizing that you have the exact amount of energy, the exact amount of money, the exact amount of time, the exact amount of skill to do what you want to do now. I always think of Harry Potter with the Magician card, specifically the Sword of Gryffindor, because the Sword of Gryffindor shows up to exactly the person who needs it at exactly the time that they need it for the exact purpose that they need it for, right? That's the Magician card for me, because it's like they were already in the process of doing what they were doing, right? Like either searching for Horcruxes or fighting off Voldemort or whatever. And so they were already doing the thing. And what they needed was the Sword of Gryffindor. They didn't necessarily know that that's what they needed, but it showed up for them at exactly the time that they needed it for exactly the purpose that they needed it for. That's what the Magician is. It's like, just do it. And whatever you need, whatever you think you're lacking, whether that's, connections, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's, whatever, that all of that will show up for you at the exact time that you need it for the exact purpose that you need it for. All you really need to focus on is actually starting. And then the World card is the end of a cycle. Something would come to an end, but in the sense of like, there's this culmination, there's a like this whole, thing. It's not even like ending in a bad way. It's just like a new chapter almost is how it feels. Because I guess that's really what the World card is. Like, something has to end in order for something new to begin. Like, this is recognizing that the energy of that journey, it's like you got what you needed to get. Something comes to an end so that we can go back to the full, like, right? It's going on. It's like the next phase of your life, the next chapter, the next journey is there, because the lessons have been learned, the experiences that you needed to obtain to get here or to get on to the next thing, you got those. I love this. All right, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.